Oh shit, here we are. Late night podcast. This is an After Dark podcast. Remember when I would do the Peach Pit After Dark podcasts? That's a reference to the original Beverly Hills 90210. Peach Pit After Dark. This is After Dark, me reading stuff. I'm Robin. How are you guys? It's already, what time? It's 12:32 a.m. here on the West Coast in Washington State. I've had a long day in the studio, long week in the studio. I have a kind of tight deadline for my style on a big drawing, but I'm very excited about it. So this is not a complaint. This is just information that I'm sharing. I've been very not well health-wise, so I've sort of come up to the end of my deadline on something, and I'm making up for it now. I am on my own. Damien's out recording another album, one of the 7 or 8 he wrote during COVID, during quarantine, COVID. Yeah, he wrote 8 albums. I don't know I don't even know how that's possible, but I witnessed it with my own eyes and ears, and anyway, so I am undistracted. Damien is a good distraction, by the way, but he is a distraction. In fact, I haven't been he has a very big presence. At least I find it to be a big presence. It's not like a huge personality. It's just somehow it is a lot, and it's a lot of good things, but it's just, I can't ignore it. Do you know what I mean? So I've found this to be a new thing that I'm challenged with. I still get a lot done, but I don't quite get into the zone that I need to get into, which has a lot to do with me being ignored and alone and quiet and just to myself and not sharing things with other people. So this is a whole new thing for me. I'm very used to just being very much on my own and not it's a very long, complicated history with me and my life as a married person, and just, adjusting to a new way of living that is so healthy, so unbelievably healthy and positive, but foreign to me. Oh, thank you, Frankie. Did you guys hear that? She understood. She's seen me through all sorts of different lives. So anyway, the point being is that since quarantine, I haven't really been on my own, which has been fine and good, but I really needed it right now to just be left to do my own thing, eat my own bizarre foods, not even be asked what I'm eating, not I'm just not entertaining a thought other than my own head. And Damien and I are having fun only catching up one time a day on the phone at 10 p.m. So I look forward to that. It's really fun. This is fun. It feels very much like we're in a different time period because he doesn't use a cell phone. And I barely look at my cell phone. I mean, I only look at it if I absolutely have to, but it's so, you guys have heard me talk about this before if you've listened. I hate phones. I hate the phone. I hate everything to do with the phone. And especially when I'm working this hard, there's nothing better than me just forgetting my phone exists, and I've done a lot of that, not only from working so hard, but also just from being unwell health-wise. So anyway, today I had reached a point that shows I've been in the studio a lot where I almost didn't have anything else to watch on TV, that almost never happens. But I had oversaturated myself with all the TV I love right now. So it was a nice opportunity to just listen to music on my Beats pill, nonstop, loud, all day, re-investigating albums that I didn't quite digest fully in the past, listening. I don't know. I just listened to so much stuff. I just was listening to Cat Power's album. What's it called? The Greatest, I think. And I remember the first time I ever heard of Cat Power back in the year 2000, I think it was, when I lived in Chicago. Hold on. Hey, Frankie. Sorry. Frankie's over by this new drawing, and I'm so afraid she's going to just start ripping at it with her claws. But anyway, cat power. And I remember, this is how it happened. My friend Deva came up to me, and, well, we were just talking. She didn't come up to me and say this. We were talking, hanging out. And she said, so are you into cat power? And I said, thinking she meant just like cats in general, like the power of cats, because I hadn't heard of cat power. And my explanation was so weird. I'm sure to her was so weird. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's something I would call it. I mean, I can't remember what I said, but anyway, it made a very big impression on me. And I remember walking over to the Borders I used to go to all the time in Chicago, and they had it on display, that first album. They had it, you remember when, I don't know if this is still true very often, but when you could then just put the headphones on, Borders was really into that. I mean, I know record stores since the beginning of time have allowed you to listen to music when they have. Anyway, it was on display, and I fell in deep, deep love with cat power. So anyway, nice day. I also caught up on laundry. I have these 5 blankets that I share with Frankie. They are very fuzzy. I'll be honest, they're from Walmart. I don't know what this material is, but they are the softest, fuzziest blankets, but the fuzz doesn't get it everywhere. It doesn't fall off on your black clothes. It's just, oh my God. They're throw blankets. I wish they were huge, but anyway, I sleep with one every single night at the foot of the bed, hoping that, because Frankie, it attracts her. And anyway, I hadn't washed those in a while, and I washed them 2 at a time. So anyway, when I got them out of the dryer. They smelled so good. I used Zoom lavender laundry detergent. I think it's called laundry soap. What's the difference? I know it's not called detergent though, which is so interesting. Anyway, I got them out of the dryer. So warm, so awesome. And I was freezing because I had cranked the AC down really low in my studio. Not even necessary. It was like in the, I don't know, late 60s, early 70s today. I'll just go with it. And anyway, this was just an instinct. Didn't even plan on it. Didn't think about it. I got the blankets out of the dryer, kind of hugged them close to my chest, put my head in it, and kissed them like they were a pet or something. And I just laughed. I was like, whoa. It was, there was not a second of thought about it. It just happened. Then I didn't think about it again. I just thought that was nice to get to kiss my blankets. And then 2 more blankets, same blankets, different ones, put them in, dried them, got them out, again, didn't think about it, hugged them, the whole exact thing, kissed them again, like just by instinct. So interesting. And it made me think of something I should do again to cheer myself up. If you guys remember, I've talked about this too. Occasionally I get into this thing where every time I pass by a mirror, I'll look at myself and just like blow myself a kiss kind of. And it's so fun for some reason. Like, it's really fun when you're feeling horrible. It just makes you laugh, Another thought, I guess some of the main thoughts I've been having. Well, first of all, my health has been really, really bad, which is the only reason I haven't been doing the podcast, and I'm very sorry. Most of my life has been spent at the doctor's, getting all sorts of procedures, infusions, changing medications, getting blood work. I mean, just non-stop, full-time job being a patient. And it's just everything that could have gone wrong with my body, everything I've ever mentioned, having had problems with, any of my illnesses, diseases, whatever, autoimmune condition, they're all bad right now. They're all just horrible. So, I mean, my eye even, when I almost lost vision in my left eye a few years ago, well, that's called uveitis, and it's back in full fucking force. So maybe I mentioned that, I don't know. But anyway, it's still bad. Like, as I'd been on these high-powered eye drops, and even after a month on them, last week, my specialist said, well, it's 3 times worse than last week. I've got to go in every week, get them checked. And so Nothing's getting better yet. I just, again, am just trying to embrace the moments when I feel okay. My heart is really bad. I'm figuring that out, and just everything. I have ankylosing spondylitis. That's horrible. Couldn't walk, couldn't get out of bed, used Damien as a walker for a long time. I'm just, it's just sucks. But I'm not alone. A lot of people deal with all sorts of things. So, and of course the main problem, I just wish I were a different person dealing with it. I wish I weren't so, I don't know. I don't know if ambitious is the word. Ambitious, not like, ooh, I want to rule the world. Ambitious in the way, well, I want to do a lot of things. I think I have this chronic upset towards a lack of time to do everything I want to do anyway. And then you couple that with my body's unwillingness to work with me, my body constantly telling me to slow the fuck down, which I know it's probably doing all of that for a reason. Like, hey girl, chill the fuck out. Hey, can you just relax? But that's just not who I am. Like, I'm never going to be, I remember all of my life, people always telling me, you should smoke weed. You really would have a lot of benefit if you would just smoke weed. And I just remember, even without knowing what it was like, I'm like, it's just not me. Like, you're asking me to be like a chilled out, cool, relaxed type of person. And that's just not who I'm ever going to be. Like, we are who we are sometimes. I mean, I am, thank you, Frankie. I mean, you can improve, and I'm a million times better than I used to be as far as anxiety and stuff goes. But, what am I getting at? Yeah, I mean, just something's got to give. When my body is this angry at me, I can't do everything. And that feels like murder to me. Something's got to give when I'm in these states of being. I mean, and I'm not willing to give up on any of it. I'm just not. I want to make incredible, resonant, emotional, innovative drawings. I want to be kind. I want to be healthy and take care of my body, eat right. I want to take care of my mind. I want to be a good friend. I want to be a great daughter to my parents, a great sister, a great aunt, a great friend, a great wife, a great stepmom. I want to make sure I'm the best parent to Frankie over there. See, she loves it. And I am, by the way, the best fucking pet parent there ever was. I want to write handwritten letters to all of my friends, and I'm behind on that by like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I want to research every single thing I want to research, if that makes sense. So that's like probably 87,361 things. I want to cook well every single time I cook. Not just once, not just every once in a while, every time. I want to be awesome, you know? I want to dress well. I want to... Frankie. God, I want to make our house look very, very cozy and comfortable and interesting. I want to take good care of my skin, which is horrible. I want to speak well and clearly. What else? I want this podcast to be good, and I want it to be comforting to other people. I want to do this podcast every damn week again. I mean, it doesn't make sense that I'm not doing it every week. It's not like I don't have a voice, but I just don't have the mental capacity for anything extra lately. I want to keep up with my website as much as humanly possible, and I don't always do that. I want to read constantly. I want to write, and I want to write well. I want to learn the Young and the Restless theme song on piano, like as soon as possible. I want to learn piano, period. I want to sing well. I want to take singing lessons, voice lessons. I want a perfect sleep schedule that I adhere to every single night. That will never happen. I say that and I know it'll never happen. I'm lucky if that happens 2 days in a row. I've never had it happen more than that. I want my blood work to come back perfect. I want my floors to be clean. I want to vacuum my carpet in my studio right now. I've been wanting to do that for about 3 weeks. Haven't done it. I want to watch so many movies. I want to rewatch all of my favorite TV shows. I want to collect every great art book under the sun and spend tons of time with each one of those books. I have so many good books that I never even get to look at. I want to learn how to sew well, sew my own clothes, sew a quilt. But not just any quilt. I want it to be fucking amazing when I do make it. I want my body to be flexible. Like, I want to do the splits, for God's sake. I don't know why I want to do that, but I do. I want my calendar to always be up to date so that I'm never surprised by something that pops up one day. I want to go to bed with everything on my, to-do list checked off. I want my emails to always be taken care of. I wish I could take walks every day at dusk. I haven't taken a walk in months, which is so sad. I want to grow so many vegetables in my garden. I want my garden to be beautiful. I never want to run out of things unnecessarily, like garlic or garlic powder or garlic. Very concerned with garlic. You know what I mean. Anyway, I'm sorry. That was a 15-minute rant just about. But does anybody relate to this? Is anybody out there plagued like I am by this? Because I kind of have felt it from people before, that they are on the same page, but not that often. Hi, Frankie. She's just in the corner of my studio just crying at me, just staring at me. I think she is very needy these days. But anyway, if so, reach out, let me know. By the way, I'm on Instagram, Robin_O'Neill, ROBYN_ONEIL. You can reach out, let me know, hit me up in the comments. I don't check DMs that often. I'm so sorry. I didn't add that to my list, did I? That was not on my list because I really don't want to I can't keep up with DM. How do people do all of this? Anyway, same old me. Let's read something. Ann Carson, haven't read her out loud to you guys in a while. I'm going to read two things. One, we'll start with one I've already read on the podcast before. I call it her shade poem. I got to see her read this once at the Hammer in Los Angeles. This is Each Day Unexpected Salvation by John Cage. Not by John Cage, but in parentheses, John Cage. This is Ann Carson, and it was published in, I believe, it was the New Yorker originally, in 2015. I'll put a link in the description so you can find this and the book, which I'm going to be reading from Short Talks from Brick Books. Always, every time I do this, I always link so that you can buy the necessary material. I've read this one before on here, like I said, but I've been thinking about it a lot as I have been drawing this large whale, and I'm inventing what the skin of this whale looks like. I know that I always see in whales these sort of slash marks. They all seem to have they're scars, I guess. They have the most interesting skin from what I remember. But what I do often in my drawings is invent what I sort of vaguely remember about things. If I start looking at too many pictures of what I'm trying to draw, it's not inventive enough. And it looks, obviously I can make anything look like what it actually looks like. But for me, that's not of deep interest to me. I'm very, very prone to want to just, I don't know. Like if you've seen this one buffalo drawing of mine, the buffalo fur is actually the fur of my cat, Kinney. And just because, I don't know, I didn't really know what buffalo fur looked like, and I knew what Kinney's fur looked like, so I just drew that. Anyway, the way I'm drawing this whale skin is so... First of all, I'm having a blast. Second of all, check out my Instagram story. Or maybe I'll archive it too. But anyway, my story's right now, so it'll be up until Friday night. I just posted an image of this thing that I'm drawing, this whale, and you'll see the kind of skin that I'm drawing. Anyway, it made me think of this, what I call her shade poem by Ann Carson. So here we go. Forest shade, lake shade, poplar shade, highway shade, backyard shade, cafe shade, down behind the high school shade, cow shade, carport shade, blowing shade, dappled shade, shade darkened by rain above, shade under ships, shade along banks of snow, shade beneath the one tree in a bright place, shade by the ice cream truck, shade in the new car sales room, shade in halls of the palace as all the electric lights turn on, shade in a stairwell, shade in tea barrels, shade in books, shade of clouds running over a distant landscape, shade on bales in the barn, shade in the pantry, shade in the ice house, the smell of shade, shade under running blades, shade along branches, shade at night, a difficult research, shade on rungs of a ladder, shade on pats of butter sculpted to look like scallop shells, shade to holler from, shade in the chill of bamboo, shade at the core of an apple, confessional shade, shade of hair salons, shade in a joke, shade in the town hall, shade descending from legendary ancient hills, shade under the jaws of a dog with a bird in its mouth trotting along to the master's voice, shade at the back of the choir, shade in pleats, shade clinging to arrows in the quiver, shade in scars, and shade in the scars of whale skin, shade in all the dark chocolate I keep eating. One thing about my situation with my health right now that's really weird and so unlike me is that I also have no appetite. And I've lost a lot of weight, which you guys recall from before I got sick. I was trying to lose weight, and I was doing it in a healthy way, and now I'm not so sure what's going on. But the only thing I have an appetite for is dark chocolate, which I never saw that coming. I mean, I liked dark chocolate, but it's all I think about. Like, if I could just eat dark chocolate and apples and grapes, those are the only things I want right now. I still eat oatmeal every morning, by the way. All right, anyway, shade. How good is that fucking piece by Ann Carson? You guys, I think I might just be madly in love with her. I think I just need to admit it right here, right now, madly in love with Ann Carson. I really think I am. So here I am coming out about it, madly in love with Ann Carson in a romantic way. Okay, Ann Carson's Short Talks. This was her first poetry collection, and it was republished. So it first came out, I don't know when it was. Let's see, 1992. And the second printing was this printing, 2015. Beautiful, beautiful book. Oh my God, you got to get this book, brickbooks.ca. What's C? Oh, Canada. I was like, what's CA? Carthage? All right, let's do, I'm about to sneeze. All right, here's the one I want to read. Short Talk on My Task. My task is to carry secret burdens for the world. People watch curiously. Yesterday morning at sunrise, for example, you could have seen me on the breakwall carrying gauze. I also carry untimely ideas and sins in general, or any faulty action that has been lowered together with you into this hour. Trust me, the trotting animal can restore red hearts to red. Thank you, Frankie. I don't know if you guys can hear her, but it is insane. She always says bless you after I sneeze. Thank you. Oh my God, how good is that? Trust me, the trotting animal can restore red hearts to red. My task is to carry secret burdens for the world. That might be mine too, my dear sweet Ann. Ann Carson. Ann Carson, everybody. Let's do it. Hey, Ann Carson, everybody. Applause, 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 applause. All right, you guys. Hold on, I gotta write something down. What else do I need to share with you guys? Dark chocolate, talked about it. Bottom of dishes, shade under dishes. Do you remember? I actually do remember the first time, and it wasn't that long ago, embarrassingly, that I realized, you know, you need to wash if you're hand washing dishes, you have to wash the bottom of your dishes as well. And that didn't occur to me for a long time, I'm embarrassed to say. You know, and I sometimes worry that other people don't realize that too. It's just as important. Yeah, there's not like pieces of tater tot casserole all over it, but you don't know what else is on there. Like there might have been something weird on the table, or you stacked the dishes, you know. Sometimes to remember it, I stack the dishes from a table on top of each other so I know, like, oh, there's some oatmeal on the bottom of that bowl because I stacked this bowl on top of the other oatmeal bowl. So then I know to wash the other. Anyway, does that make sense to anybody? Business Corner. My shop is always open. You guys can get my book, and you can get a slightly damaged edition for less money. So check that out, robinoneal.com/shop. There's not a ton of the handmade things right now. I think there are some, though. There's still a lion platter that I don't know why you guys haven't wanted it, because you're crazy. Anyway, I think there is. There's this roaring lion platter that maybe I'll put it up for sale. If anyone's interested in it, message me or email me from my website. And if you say, hey, I'm interested, if you put it for sale, I'll put it for sale. I'm that cool. So anyway, and there's not a lot of modeliers left, but everybody, one thing I have been doing is making a lot of stuff while I've been sick. So there's going to be a new, my God, what is going on? So I'm going to have tons of modeliers ready and all sorts of other stuff. That'll be launched early July. Hot summer, neon colors, and all sorts of other things. My show, The Los Angeles Drawings, is up in Los Angeles, California at Moskowitz Base Gallery. Please, please, please go, Los Angeles. I have a lot of listeners down there in Southern California. I want you guys to make it out. Never had a show in Los Angeles. That's not totally true, but it's almost true. So it's time for you guys to get out there and see it. It'll be up until June 19th. This is, I believe, the first time I've ever had a solo show without a large drawing. It just felt very like naked to me to not, I always have a large drawing to anchor all my small drawings, but this time I thought, you know what? I myself am a huge fan of small drawings. I make a lot of small drawings. Let's just go ahead and own this and not have to rely on the large drawing. So anyway, very excited about how this show is going. I want you guys to see it. And I'll also link you guys to all of this, including a new profile on my life in the studio during this pandemic. That is at Susan Inglet Gallery on their website. And lots of very cool things and insights into my work that Elena at the gallery worked on, including an animation showing you where some of the clouds and skies that I've been working with, where they've originated from, what TV shows, what pieces of art, what real life stories. So check that out. And that is it. I can breathe now. All right, you guys, I've missed you terribly. I'm sorry to neglect you. Like I said, I don't know how to do all of this. And please, you know what? I'm actually begging you. If you have anything to say about my whole speech about how can I do all of this? I mean, if I had 15 bodies, it wouldn't be enough. If I had, I don't know, 58,000 hours a week, it wouldn't be enough. But how do I come to terms with this? I really don't know. And yes, I've asked this in therapy and in life coaching and in Al-Anon and 12 steps and everything, and it never gets figured out. I will say, I'm doing a pretty good job this week. So, no, I'm not. All I'm doing is drawing. So that feels pretty damn good. All right, all of you, I love you, I love you, I love you. What is this podcast dedicated to? Who is this podcast dedicated to? I want this podcast to be dedicated to Becky. Becky, you know who you are. Becky down in California. We've only gotten to hang out once, but I know she listens and I love her very much. And you guys are the cutest family ever. And that's it. All right, good night, everybody. Night, night. I love you.